Hello, welcome back to the Legal English UK YouTube channel. My name is Mike, and in this lesson we are going to look at how you write an email like the competent lawyer that you are. We look at what kind of style you should be using, what kind of tone, what kind of language you should be using. Just a warning, this is a heavy subject and this is a short video, so we can't cover everything. We'll just try and look at the basics. There'll also be a web page that you can look at. The link will be somewhere down below, and there will probably be another few videos about this in the next few months and weeks. So first things first, you have to keep in mind the tone, the clarity, and the style of your email. By tone, we are talking about who you are writing this email to. If you're writing to a client, you'll have a different language tone from how you write to a fellow lawyer, for example. When we talk about clarity, we're talking about staying consistent. If you're using British English spelling all the way through, then you should do that. If you're using particular phrases all the way through, then you should do that. If you're using a particular tense, do not suddenly change to a new tense. And in terms of style, you have to look at how this email reads to the reader. So we're talking particularly about maybe shorter sentences, mixing phrases up, mixing sentences up, making the email readable and understandable. And what you have to remember is emails are never or should never be as formal as a letter. It's sometimes the case that I will receive an email that almost reads like a letter, but it is rare. So you have to try and aim to be slightly less formal when you're writing an email. And also what you have to remember is that an email will probably be skimmed through. It will be read through very quickly. So you have to keep your messages brief and to the point. So the way we start an email at the moment is usually with either the first name, so Joe or Susan or whatever, or you could start the email with hello or a mix of the two. Hello Joe, hello Susan, and then you go into the body of the email. Occasionally you will see the use of dear. It is rare. It's more with letters, but it is still possible, and even I have used dear with some emails when I've tried to be a little bit more formal than usual with my writing. And so there you go. There's the example. So you say hello Eric, hello John, and then you go straight into the email. So by aiming to be less formal, what do we mean by that? We mean that you should be using active voice consistently throughout the email. You can use passive now and again, but restrict your use of the passive voice. There are videos on this channel about the passive and the active voice. Hopefully I can put a link up somewhere on this screen so you can take a look at that. And also it's always a good idea to read it out loud and check that it reads as if it is spoken English, that reads as if it is conversational English. Too frequently I will look at emails from students and from lawyers, and they read in a very complicated way. It takes a lot of time to understand them. So read your email out loud if you have time, and see and make sure that it flows, that it's fluent, that it's fluid. And you should be more direct in your emails. So try and avoid the use of phrases such as "it is important that." Okay, just go straight into the message. There's no need for woolly language. There's no need for weak language. Go straight to the point, because as I said right at the beginning of this short lesson, people are skimming through these emails. They are reading these emails very quickly, so you need to be straight, direct, to the point. So by using shorter sentences, you can do that. And if you look at the article in the link below, you'll see a little bit more information about this. But basically, there are various different schools of thought about how long a sentence should be. The famous Brian Garner, who is a legal writer, legal expert, he says 20 words or fewer, while others will say that there is no limit, but of course you have to be careful. I would go more towards Brian Garner on this, and I would say that 20 words should be the maximum number of words in a sentence, because otherwise it can be very confusing for the reader unless you are an extraordinarily accomplished writer of English. That's what we're aiming to make you, but arguably you're not there yet. So put short sentences in your email as frequently as possible, but of course the email should have different style and different terms and different sentences. So I have have maybe 4 short sentences, 1 long sentence, for example. And you also have to remember that you should be speaking in plain English. Obviously, this more applies to clients than fellow lawyers. But because the emails are brief, because you're trying to be direct, it's necessary that you speak in plain English. Active voice comes into use very much here. And when we talk about the body of the email, as we've mentioned before, it should be short, it should be to the point. Obviously, in the introduction, you could say things like, "Thank you for your email, I now respond," but then you go into the main part of the email. Probably there's only going to be 1 paragraph in that email where you just give all the information that you need to give. Don't forget to spell check it if possible. It doesn't read well for the reader when there are spelling errors, spelling mistakes all the way through. So do take a few seconds to spell check it, or a minute or so. And where you need to emphasize, you can do that. Probably the best way to do that is by underlining words or putting them into bold type. And these are some of the phrases that one can use when writing these emails. As discussed is a very frequent phrase that you will see a lot. So as discussed, comma, please find attached this document. There you go. Short sentence, it's going to be about 10 words. Perfect. Please find attached is a very common phrase. Apologies for the comma there. You should not put a comma after that. Please find attached the document. Please find attached the will, the contract. It's almost the law that this is the phrase that you use when you are sending attachments. Another way is right at the end, please let me know. Please let me know if you are going to this meeting. Full stop. And when you close, these are the ways to close your email. Kind regards, best wishes, best regards, all work. We don't use yours sincerely, yours faithfully at the end of emails. In the US, I think they use yours truly in letters quite frequently. I've never seen them in an email from a US lawyer. But, of course, if I am mistaken, please comment below and correct me. So, kind regards, best wishes, best regards. These are the kinds of ending that you should use in an email. And finally, just remember, double check your email. Just spend a minute or 2 minutes looking back over it. Spell check everything to make sure everything is correct. Make sure that you've attached the attachments if you've mentioned them. Look at the style of the email. Are there too many long sentences? There's 6 paragraphs when you could cut them down. Just look at how that can be done. And finally, keep things brief. Keep things as brief as possible, because people have so many emails now. They have millions of emails, and really they don't want to spend too much time on your email. They just want to scan through it very quickly. Thanks very much for watching this video. legalenglish.co.uk is the website. Don't forget there is an article down below in the comment section about writing an email effectively as a lawyer. At Legal English UK on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. We're also on LinkedIn and a few other social media sites, so do find us there. And there's one video there that you can see. Do have a look at that if you have a second, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I've been Mike Davis. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.